Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to evening devotion. I'll tell you, I am wiped out. Out there doing that brush hogging and weed eating and stuff with my mom's, and I just for some reason just cannot seem to get enough rest. Oof. Hopefully tonight's not going to be super loud. I can actually hopefully get some sleep. We'll see. But pretty uneventful today. Pretty quiet so far. Even now it may change now, but there's a fireworks stand up the road on the way into town, and they weren't very busy at all when I passed them twice. So who knows? It might not be that big of a deal. People may just not do it. They may, because our town had their fireworks display last night. So who knows? We'll see. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm just going to trust the Lord. And as tired as I am, it's probably not going to bother me or affect me. Psalm 24:4 is our verse tonight. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. So that verse is an answer to a question in verse 3. How long is this? Oh, this is a short psalm. We'll read the whole thing. The King of Glory, starting in verse 1, a psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the waters. Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord? Well, hi, guys. Hi, Angus. Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who may stand in his holy place? He who has a clean hands and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul to an idol. So in the King James, it's vanity. So I'm guessing it would be the same, basically. Nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is Jacob, the generation of those who seek him, who seek your face, Selah. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Lift up, you everlasting doors. So gates and doors in the Bible are references to people. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. Amazing. What's the matter? You need to go outside? All right, hold on a sec, guys. Let me let the dog out. Who wants to go on the steps? You go on the steps? See till it comes out. He's been under the bed all day. When all the fireworks kick off, he will definitely go hide. No? Nobody's coming out. Okay. All right, our devotion states, outward... Aha, there they are. I knew it. Everybody's got to go use the facilities in the yard. Hi, Sleepy. Outward practical holiness is a very precious mark of grace. Nice breeze. So in the morning, the back of the house is the cool spot. In the evenings and afternoons, the front of the house is the cool spot because of the shade. Because our trailer runs north-south. So the outward expression of our inward reality, the outward, what we are on the outside, what we do, what we show, that is revealing of who we are on the inside. Personality-wise, what our desires are, what our motivations are, is all expressed externally in the lives around us. And it is a precious mark of grace. It is to be feared that many professors have perverted the doctrine of justification by faith in such a way as to treat good works with contempt. There are a lot of them who won't do anything. They talk bad about that stuff. If so, they will receive everlasting contempt at the last great day. If our hands are not clean, let us wash them in Jesus' precious blood, and so let us lift up pure hands unto God. But clean hands will not suffice unless they are connected with a pure heart. True religion is heart work. You cannot be changed on the outside and not on the inside. Jesus made this clear when he was talking about the cup. You clean the outside of the cup, but the cup's still dirty because you didn't wash the inside of the cup. Your outward expression, outward observances don't make the inward part clean. The inward part being clean makes the outward part clean. And I've talked about this before. Take a dirty cup, say a coffee cup or something, and then just wash the outside. No water gets in the inside, and the inside is still dirty. But if you wash the inside of it, the soapy water will naturally go on the outside, and inadvertently the outside of the cup gets clean. So making an effort to clean the inside of the cup, the inside of us, will be expressed in the outside being clean, not the other way around. True religion is heart work. We may wash the outside of the cup, here we go, and the platter as long as we please. But if the inward parts be filthy, we are filthy altogether in the sight of God. For our hearts are more truly ourselves than our hands are. The very life of our being lies in the inner nature, and hence the imperative need of purity within. The pure in heart shall see God. All others are but blind bats. Now, who does this cleaning work inside of us? Us or Jesus Christ? Remember, the work of sanctification isn't done by us, it's done by him. Now, there are things we do. We do play some part in it at certain intervals. But he's the one that does the cleaning. The man who was born for heaven hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity. All men have their joys, by which their souls are lifted up. The worldling lifts up his soul in carnal delights, which are mere empty vanities. But the saint loves more substantial things, like Jehoshaphat. He is lifted up in the ways of the Lord. He who is content with husks will be reckoned with the swine. Does the world satisfy thee? That would be the husks. Then thou hast thy reward and portion in this life. Make much of it, for thou shalt know no other joy. Neighbor's got his music cranked up. So, matter of fact, I better go in, because that's gonna, if that comes on the video, I'm gonna get a copyright. So, let's go inside. All right, what's the matter? Is it 5 o'clock time? It's 5 o'clock moon time. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so thou shalt know no other joy. So this is expressed in the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, where Abraham tells the rich man, you had your good life. Now you're in torment. He was tortured. Lazarus was tortured, and now he's comforted. And so if this is what you want, if this is what you're striving for this life, then this is all you got. There's so much more waiting on the other side. And so what is this life compared to that one? Now, there's things you have to do. I had to go into town today and buy soaker hose for the squash plants, zucchini plants in the back. So there's things you have to do. I cleaned up the kitchen earlier. I'm going to cook dinner here in a little bit. So there's things we do that are for this life. But when you're lifted up to those things, when that is the only place you find joy, is in those things and not in the Lord. Well, this is that vanity. This is that pride. Solomon says in Ecclesiastes, eat your bread and drink your wine, for the Lord has already accepted your works. Enjoy what you've been given. But don't set your heart on those things. Don't make the purpose of your life and the focus of your life to strive to get those things. I used to be that way. I got to work hard and make a lot of money and make a better life for my family. And I failed. And so what did the Lord do? Broke me, humbled me, and then provided. I'm exhausted. I'm wore out. I'm exhausted. I completely exhausted myself trying to make a life and a retirement and money for my kids to go to school, and because we started out with nothing, and I failed. From a certain perspective, people will say I had success. I let the Lord judge that. But I quit setting my heart on those things because it wasn't going to happen. And I realized this when I was still in the Army, and it was right before they called me in to talk to me about being chaptered because I had medical issues and it wasn't getting better. So they were like, you served your country and you went to war, and now it's our turn to help you and help you in this the rest of your life. And that's what they did. I'm really thankful I had good people looking out for me because I didn't know which way was up. I was on so many medications. I didn't know which way I was going. So if we're going to spend all our time and all our energy focused on this life and the pursuit of these things, you hear life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And those things are fine. But if we're going to spend ourselves, if we're going to dedicate all our time to that, well, where's time for the Lord? And if those are our focus, well, what about the next life? You can kind of see where the issue is there. Again, we have to do things here. It's okay to go redecorate your house. It's okay to go buy a piece of property. It's okay to go get a vehicle. It's okay to do those things. We need some of those things. You got to have a place to live. But we don't need to be hyper-focused on it. And if it doesn't work out, don't sweat it. The Lord has something else planned. I know that for a fact concerning us, because multiple times Elaine wants to move somewhere else. Well, it sure is a good thing we didn't, because the places she wanted to move to, it got real bad there. She wanted to move into southern Colorado, and she was looking at property down there, and they got major water issues, and right now the mountains are on fire. There's all kinds of property up for sale now where them fires are. You don't want to go there. So right now it's just not a good time for us to move. And I told her, I said, I think the Lord has something else planned. That's why anytime, because a couple of times we applied, nothing. I said, I think the Lord has something else planned. And it may be because he's coming and there's no reason for us to move. Just stay where we are and keep doing our thing and wait on the Lord. And so we have to come to that place where we got to stop being so concerned with it. The Lord wants us to move. He'll show us. YB, her testimony on that, they were trying to buy a place in a neighborhood, and she was frustrated. And I said, I told her that it may be that the Lord knows something you don't. That's why he's stopping you. Maybe pull back and go into prayer to him about that. Ask for peace and understanding, and just wait and see what happens. If it's the Lord's will, it's going to happen. Well, it didn't happen. About, I think it was 4 or 5 months later, that whole area burnt to the ground. And the house they were looking at is nothing. It's gone. So it was a real good thing that they didn't move. We don't always understand what the Lord's doing. This is why we have to learn to wait on him. To slow down and wait on him. Lord, why can't I do this? I was doing that with my tractor, trying to get a tractor with a bucket. I had a Kubota 2-wheel drive, but I didn't have a bucket on it. It's a mid-size, I guess a little bit smaller than a mid-size. And I can only do a few things with it. But I finally stopped pushing. And I took it to the Lord. Lord, whatever you want me to do, show me. But what I did was I designed, because I have an old cherry picker for pulling engines out of cars, and I designed a bracket system that I could hook onto the back of the tractor on the 3-point to use that to help with picking up stuff and moving stuff. I guess a lot of the reason why I needed the bucket was to pick stuff up and move it. And a year and a half later, we have a tractor. Actually, we're about to pay this thing off. The Lord has blessed us so richly. We just paid off Elaine's truck early, and we're about to, just a little bit longer, maybe another 3 months, and we should have enough to pay this tractor off and we'll have almost no debt at all. And that's awesome. And that's what we've been pushing for, is be out of debt. We did it twice, and both times we got thrown back into it because of circumstances outside of our control. And it is what it is. So the point is, we need to not be so hyper-focused on where we're going, but more hyper-focused on what we need to do right now. He is the I am. That's the right now God. He is the I am in the past. He's the I am in the future. He's the I am right now. And so we need to live in the now. It's okay to plan, but like it says in the Bible, if the Lord wills. Because we read about two guys, we're going to go to this such and such city, and we're going to make a bunch of money, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. But the right way to do it is, but if the Lord wills. If the Lord doesn't will, don't go. Paul and Barnabas wanted to go to Asia, and he says the Holy Spirit restrained us, wouldn't let us go. They probably didn't understand what was going on, but there was definitely a good reason for it. If the Holy Spirit stopped them, they might not have survived. There may have been bad things waiting for them. So, I mean, so this is where we have to come to that place of just resting in the Lord and waiting on Him. Because if this is what He wants you to do, this particular thing, He will make it so amazingly simple. And it'll be like you don't do any effort to it, and you just go. And He'll bless it. But if we get ahead of ourselves and ahead of Him and try to force the issue and do it on our own, He'll only stop us for so long. And finally, He'll let us see the error of our ways. Now's a terrible time to buy a house. So I was getting across to my wife. Now's a terrible time. I told her I'm not interested in making, $1,000+ a month of mortgage payment. That's nuts. That's crazy. Why would I do that to myself? So I said, let's just wait a little bit. Let's see what happens. I do have some plans for this winter, some major winter projects I want to get knocked out. And this should be a nice winter for it, hopefully. But I got some things for this summer. But, if the Lord wills, I'm playing it by ear. I may make a plan for a day, but it's the other end of it's open because things may change suddenly. Adjust fire as necessary. Things may change suddenly. The Lord may have a different plan. I may end up going this direction instead of that direction. So don't be too caught up in what you want to do, but instead be more focused on what He wants you to do. And it may be you're right where you need to be. Nor sworn deceitfully. The saints are men of honor still. The Christian man's word is his only oath. Integrity, guys. The Bible talks about it throughout. But that is as good as 20 oaths of other men. False speaking will shut any man out of heaven, for a liar shall not enter into God's house. We must be cleansed of these things. Whatever may be his professions or doings. Reader, does the text before us condemn thee? Or dost thou hope to ascend into the hill of the Lord? So is he talking about the inadvertent issues we struggle with our sin and our issues, our darkness as a physical being? Or is he talking about somebody who lives a life to do these things? He's talking about somebody who lives the life to do these things, who seeks to do these things, who makes it part of their daily operation. We're not those people because we don't let our daily operations be that way. Lying, cheating, being caught up in this or that. But it's easy to do. And a lot of people do it. They're the ones that have the problem. We examine ourselves, even though we can't be condemned. There is no condemnation for those in Christ. But why would we knowingly put ourselves in harm's way when we could just as easily avoid it? And just don't go that direction. Don't make that a part of our daily operation, but instead operate from a place of walking with the Lord and let the world see it. We're all guilty of stumbling and falling. We're all guilty of the things mentioned here. But now we're different and we're being changed. And that's that sanctification. We're being changed to be ready for heaven. Don't be surprised if suddenly you notice a lot of changes in yourself and how people respond to you in the next few months, in the next year. I've noticed it already. Don't be surprised. The Lord's changing us. He's getting us ready. Don't be surprised if you don't find enjoyment in things anymore. You don't look forward to things you used to enjoy. I'm getting in that boat. We got a drive-in just down the highway here. I used to love going to movies. And when I was in New York, I went to Black River Drive-In. Loved it. Great place. But it doesn't have the draw it used to have. Fishing has always been my thing. Hunting, not as much, but for sure fishing. And it just doesn't have the draw that it had. All the things I used to enjoy, it just doesn't have the draw. Ride a motorcycle. I got a nice motorcycle out there, but I'm going to end up selling it. I mean, with my physical condition deteriorating slowly, it's not comfortable to ride anymore. So I'm just going to clean that thing up and I'm going to flip it, send it down the road. I need equipment more than I need a motorcycle. So, and when we push ourselves and force the issue on those things, we can get ourselves in a place where we hurt ourselves and have regrets. But the one thing we'll never regret is following the Lord and doing what He says. And they'll say, "Oh, you're an old fuddy-duddy. You're no fun to be around. You don't want to do this stuff." I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. My body hurts doing a lot of that stuff, and so I'm not interested in putting myself through that kind of pain. I just want to do what I need to do daily and just keep slowly moving forward as the Lord wills and directs the path of my life that I'm walking, because I find I want to do it His way instead of my way. My way, I'll hurt myself. His way is perfect. And so if I let Him have His way in my life, if I do things according to His will and follow His prompting, the sheep in the sheepfold don't go to the water hole on their own. They wait till the shepherd to take them to the water hole. They don't change pastors on their own until the shepherd tells them, "Hey, open the gate, go in this pasture." So we've got to learn to relax and slow down. We've got to learn to pull back for a minute and let's pull back and take another look at this, because obviously there's something I'm missing. Why I'm failing so much, and then we realize, well, maybe the Lord is doing something and I just wasn't paying attention because I was blinded by my own ambitions. Maybe I need to wait and just do it the Lord's way and see how that turns out. And what we'll find is it always turns out fantastic when we do it His way. Lord, make us to listen to You and to do it Your way. We're still hard-headed and we push the issue and we want to do this and do that. I still have things I want to go do and have these plans that I think I want to do. But Lord, I got to learn, and I'm trying to learn to wait on You until You tell me what to do. Because if I get in a hurry, I'm going to mess up. But if I do it Your way, it'll prosper and it'll work perfectly. And so, Lord, may we do it Your way. May we operate and express the salvation within us Your way. May we be those people that are waiting on You. And what if we wait our whole lives and then our time to die comes and we, nothing that we were watching for happened? It's irrelevant. We still get to go be with You. There's no losing here. What if we miss out on things in this life? There's better waiting in heaven. So good, we can't even imagine it. It has not entered into the mind of man what God has laid up for him. And so, Lord, may we look forward to heaven instead. We still do what we have to do here, but look forward to heaven instead. Because in this, we glorify You. In this, it actually starts to bleed into our worship. When we put our focus on You and less of our focus on the world and the things we want to do. Because You are going to make it amazing. Because You're amazing. So, Lord, may we look up and look to You and trust You and wait on You for Your glory and to the praise and honor of Your holy name. Guys, thank you for joining me for evening devotion. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name. Be safe tonight. Be safe. Enjoy the holiday, but be safe. I'll see you in the next video.